Welcome to the I messed up the start.
Didn't even make it 5 seconds in.
No, sure, we'll just go with it. Because I normally do no time to plot for standard lore. Welcome to the Worldbuilding of Trust podcast. As today I'm here with. I was actually
Cool Wow
to
Boy.
say what?
I'm Cool Wow Boy, also known as Lucas, since he's probably going to say my name.
True. I'm used to saying your name. I'm going to share the screen so you can see the massive list of tabs as
Oh my.
what kinds of things. So which one do you want to talk about first? Like the curses, the contract / enforcement things, the villain family, the living dungeons, or Uma Musume?
I just want to say that's way too many tabs, and for a second you're like, oh, which tab do you want to talk about first?
No, seriously.
Was what I thought you were going to ask. And I'm like, Jesus. I can barely tell what some of those tabs are about. That's what I want to talk about, the tabs. How do you click on anything?
It's fine,
Lord.
it's good. You already know that there's some Twitch things, namely like the assorted things.
Are all those safe for work?
Yes.
I think some of those in the middle are not. Jesus Christ, how does your computer run?
Alright, keep in mind, these are all Chrome tabs too.
I get 12 tabs and my family is like, you have too many tabs. What, do you have 50 there?
The funny thing is, my computer is fine. It's okay, hi, it's okay, there. To be fair, I also have a game on, so why it gets occasionally gets to 50, I don't know, but yeah, it's normally sitting around just 20 and then 30% memory. So yeah, it's good.
Your tabs are taking up up to 30% of your memory. Okay, back on to topic, I guess.
Yeah.
Surprised me.
Fair enough.
We're immediately getting derailed because we just see the massive load.
I mean, that's what D&D is all about. Just how many times do we get distracted?
Perfect example of D&D, yeah.
Yeah.
D&D, 90% other bullshit, 10% actual game.
Yeah. Just go with the enforcement and contracts links, I guess.
Sure, sounds fun to me.
So basically, ways I've thought of to do enforcement is kind of this world police force, basically. So it's kind of similar to you guys, but it's more it's more with MA's unit where it's a international one. They can usually go anywhere that they might be needed, and they will usually aid in the more world-ending type threats. Ideally, you guys would be getting to that point, but you guys are still currently local police, maybe the hive police force, where you all kind of know similar information.
Yeah.
And some other things some other ways to enforcement is court systems, basically, which you guys kind of interact with as police units. There was also bounty systems, basically, which you guys have slightly touched on, but not particularly. Obviously, there's the god with Wretched's screw that one person in particular, or whatever he said the word lightning bitch, and got struck by lightning immediately.
You're you guys haven't interacted with this, and then throw the god crab at us.
No, you guys haven't really interacted with the bounty system. Basically, there's other adventurers trying to, hunt somebody down basically. So like it's another like person style like do. Oh,
Yeah.
so yeah. Uh, some other
It's essentially bounty hunting in real life, where you're
yeah
having to not only try and track down the person, you're trying to like do it before anybody else can.
yeah exactly. Uh, some other things that I thought of as like enforcements is just like well I normally forgot I forgot to do the other thing because I normally have it offline, but yeah. Anyway, so some other
He's
negative
opening
examples.
more tabs.
No, it's actually it's actually with the Steve thing because like there's a thing that popped up like down here in my lower right that I usually try to not have. But yeah, like some negative examples of godly enforcement is just kind of like a god strikes down and just like, hi, you well yeah they like you and strike down a random person and just like you guys see to like zero basically effectively killing them is like, hey, by the way, the gods are paying attention.
Yeah.
uh,
It's like, how do we have no clue what law he broke, but he must have broken something somewhere.
it's probably something massive, yeah. Uh, Negative reputation was another thing I brought up for our enforcement, such as like, prices could be higher, shops may not like your
Yeah.
business, allies that you have might not cooperate anymore. Like any other enforcement styles that you can think of?
See, how I usually handle enforcements in my game, like police forces and all that,
Yeah,
is that it's entirely done local in my games. So the Lord has guards who go around and basically, we're the police. Every town, every thing. It depends on, the Lord. Does the Lord overall, like, have a guard system, or does he rely on each town to kind of guard themselves? Really depends on the area you're in, I kind of handle it like a medieval person, where the guards are both the soldiers, like the men at arms at most times, and your typical law keeping enforcement, which also adds that level of, if the area's, a war's going on, those same guards are not going to be in town, which might add some difficulty to the players, because if there's a war going on, the guards are also the men at arms, so they're going to be all fighting the war.
yeah,
Or maybe the Lord doesn't want that, and it adds that interesting dynamic of, you know, changing world. And because here's the thing, you have to your universe is, in your world is kind of more modern, where they have a lot of more like cars and stuff like
yeah.
that.
So like I actually have a
Which,
thing
yeah,
on
you're gonna,
modern worlds too over here.
yeah, yeah. Um, but a big thing is, you know, in a medieval world, it's going to be very local, and then as you get more modern, you're going to see the police go from, oh, they're, town to town. It's completely different. In one town, you can be like this wanted person, and in another, perfectly fine, all in the same area. But once you get more advanced, you're going to see those police forces start to merge with each other into districts, and because every district's going to be different in a nation, and then a nation might have a police force into itself, and then you have something like Interpol, which is, limited by, a good example is Interpol, where they're limited by, oh, they can go into any nation, but they also have to play politics, and, because Interpol is really, hands tied by the fact that, they kind of have to follow the laws of every nation. So if they go into one nation, they still have to follow its laws, but at the same time, they have their own laws that can sometimes override. So a lot of when you have a worldwide police force is politics,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, funny enough, that's actually what I was playing. What I believe I mentioned, and with the
Yeah.
world police, where it's like MA kind of just like has its own rule set where it's a combination of like the strictest rules around the world, so that no matter
Yeah.
whichever way, whichever place you go to,
Yeah.
then you know like, oh well, whatever. As long as I'm abiding by the code has already been set in stone, I should be good unless there's some sort of change in the laws, which and then there's probably like a change in that code.
Exactly. And that also creates a very interesting thing of where, people are going to be upset about that. Like local rulers, it's like, why should I follow his code? Why not mine? And it, when you have a worldwide police setting like we do in our current game, you can do a lot with the politics of the game. Not only are you trying to make the people on the small happy, you're trying to make the people at the big happy. It's like, do you follow the law as it's written fully? And whose law do you follow? Because you also want your boss to be happy. It's a lot of back and forth and trying to figure out, hey, whose side are you taking to try and do this law, right?
Yeah. Uh.
Um, which I think is just very interesting for a setting. Not that we really touch upon it in the game because we're all insane.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, you guys do occasionally touch on the contract things that I go and have,
Yeah,
such as like the demons and devils one, where it's I actually talked about the fact that like they may not actually be providing whatever it is that the demon is needing to provide, and they may actually be providing it for like other things rather than the souls. Like the basic answer is yes, souls, but they may be doing it for like spying, like probably on the material plane, and maybe it's bringing in others like a sort of like pyramid scheme type thing.
yeah, it's contracts.
Yeah. Maybe it's other like services or even just like actually gold because like Mammon, for
Yeah,
example, on the one, and actually he loves gold, so like he's probably gonna be doing like services actually for gold rather than like just simply like a
yeah,
soul. Uh, Another one. Well, some other ones I actually do have is like a service one where it's like it's paid a certain amount of gold up front, and you kind of agree that like there's some sort of service to be provided
yeah,
for a certain like the time. If it's like dungeon based, then like okay, well, like if their going rate is like say like 25 gold to like enter the dungeon, if you pay them like
yeah.
100 gold, you should expect them for like 4 dungeons and stuff like that.
Mm,
Then there's also a butler one, which is basically just like house related services, typically paying for gold an hour, or maybe it's room and board. Contract work is just a salary of play, and then adventuring contracts just kind of like depend on what style it is. Like usually it's like take a quest for a posted payment or reward. If I'm at the guild, will seek other remedies to provide the posted reward, such as like if the person that like say the person and said to go and pay like 500 500
yeah.
gold, the guild, if that person can't pay the 500, will provide the rest of the 500 and seek
Mhm.
to go and get the 500 gold from that person in some fashion or another.
The guild's basically an insurance company.
Yeah, and the fallout from the guild, well, yeah, like in the case of the adventure fallout, the guild will seek legal action against them. There's also the
Hmm.
police contract where like they have to give all evidence on criminals that they see in exchange for like some legal benefit, such as cops cannot enter the city, cannot be prosecuted for minor crimes, gold per week slash instance, etc., etc. You guys have not noted that, but that is also in the game as well. Funny enough.
Yeah,
Any other contracts that you can think of? Because like I have a mercenary one, but I wanted to talk about like general contracts there.
yeah. No, I think that's really good, but I think a major thing needs to be the differentiation between a magical contract and a mortal contract. A magical contract can be enforced by magic. You know, if you don't do this, this is the penalty, and magic itself will, you know. And then you have godly. So there's basically three types of contracts, in my mind, overarching themes. Magical contracts, which are enforced via magic, like, say, hey, if you have, don't do as this contract says, you can't cast spells or you can't, kill somebody or something like that, right? It basically uses magic to force you to do something, and if you don't do it, then the magic in the contract will basically add some penalty to you. Make
Fair
sense?
enough. Yeah.
It can also be used, to bind somebody to service, such as, if you don't do this, the magic that's implanted in the contract will kill you. So, blah, blah, blah. And then you have mortal contracts, which means the only means of really enforcing it is how society would view you if you didn't do it, such as, hey, he doesn't fulfill his contracts, we shouldn't hire him. And then local legal procedure, which, people can get around. In real life, we have companies all the time signing contracts and then they go behind somebody's back and, manage to bribe the legal people to take their side so the contract's null and void. The only real consequence to a mortal contract is the fact that how people will view you if you don't fulfill it. Make sense?
Yeah. And then,
And then
you mentioned like a godly contract, right?
yeah, and then God or divine contracts are basically when you have like a middle person who's basically like a god or something like that. Somebody with extremes amounts of power that you basically say, "Hey, you're a god. You're basically a third party."
Okay.
If one of the side doesn't fulfill their contract, consider a treat. An example would be two nations are at war and both basically want the war to end. But they don't trust each other to, not break the terms of the treaty if they sign it. So they go to the god of justice and say, hey, we both want a treaty where neither side will attack the other for 10 years. If one side attacks the other within these 10 years, would you be willing to basically lend your power to the side that was attacked? So basically, you're pulling in a divine or a third party to basically put their power on the line if the treaty's broken. Make sense?
Yeah.
It sort of has the consequences of a magical contract, but it's for the third party if they break the contract, if it makes sense. And it's not really a divine, but more of a third party. No, if the god doesn't keep his ends of the deal, then he gets punished. So the god's in some way enticed to do this, but people are enticed to do this because the god usually gets something out of it, Oh, he gets worshippers, or, oh, they agree to build churches, or, he has some reason for being a third party in the contract. And you can also do this with three nations. Two are at war and they go to the third nation to, say, hey, you'll defend the nation that, is attacked in those 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, MMA kind of would also fit for this, but like the main thing is just like, okay, so we will provide you with something interesting if you agree to enforce these terms. Basically, it's like deal, because he's like that psychotic madman, right? That like he's just so bored that he wants to go and see like whatever the frick comes up.
Yeah.
I also did make sorry, go.
Yeah. And these contracts can be both mortal and magical, too. So, is it just an agreement they have, or is it something magically binding that, will affect the people that are, sign it?
Yeah. And so, like with the mercenary one as well, like it's kind of similar to the adventuring one, but it's more specifically for like just specifically people that you hire, such as like Bjorst, or for
Yeah,
example, is was one of these. Is Kel was one of these, and so it's like there's like a certain amount of gold that they have to be paid up front.
yeah,
Spellcasters kind of have a reduced amount, and like they get paid like X amount per or like level of
spell.
spell used like either for healing during or after the fight. In exchange, like you have to come with them and do certain things.
A-
Uh,
And yeah, you can also have a very interesting thing. It's like, do you hire this wizard who, oh, he charges per spell, or do you hire the one that's more expensive but he doesn't charge per spell?
I mean, true. Yeah, they could also go if they go and decide to go and like reduce like the level per spell. Then like they could in theory go and charge more for like the upfront. Uh,
Yeah,
but like the DPS ones, right? Like they in
yeah,
theory should still be like actually using their cantrips and just trying
yeah.
to do like as much damage as possible. The tank is just required to like take as much enemy slash opponent focus as possible. Such as like if there's any rogues in the party, like the tank a tank person that has like the tank
Yeah.
mercenary contract should be trying and as best they can to allow
To be
that
at the
rogue to
front of the
sneak attack.
party, Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And then the
the old
healers,
MMO rule set,
yeah. And then healers just as is basically.
heal.
Yeah.
There are a few more contracts that you probably could do for those.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Like what?
such as the scout, a contract which states that they scout ahead, but they don't really get into combat as much. They're supposed to warn you of dangers ahead, if it makes sense.
Okay.
They're the scouting party. Tell you of dangers ahead of you, this, that. In history, this is actually one of the most common because a lot of armies and all that would hire mercenaries to scout in front of the army because scouting was a dangerous thing back in the day. So merchants would hire scouting mercenaries to go ahead of the caravan to see if there's any ambushes or anything like that trying to do the caravan. So they played a really important role in history. Um, you also have, when it comes to mercenary contracts, oh, I'm forgetting what they're called right now.
Try to
Let's
describe
leave
them.
it for
Maybe I
that.
know.
They're kind of like combat blacksmiths and things like that. They're more there to provide a service and be a support. But that would more fall under a service contract, I think. But they
Yeah.
do have a
Yeah, I would assume
um,
that's more in like the shopkeeper thing, because like the mercenary thing is supposed to be like the people that are like more going into like dungeons. So like a
um
scout, I could
yeah,
see definitely as like trying to like scout out the rooms ahead a little bit, maybe see about the
yeah,
traps and stuff. The tanks, DPSs, and healers. Like, yeah, I can see that for like MMO rules, but like a support
yeah.
person, like a blacksmith, I definitely would see that more as like a town-based thing.
Where would a supporter fall under this kind of contract, though? Somebody who is only there to cast spells to support the party. They don't really. They try not to engage in combat, like they might fire off some cantrips or something like that. But their main thing is buffing, like a buffer. Very important in history.
Yeah, I
Everywhere.
was gonna say probably like the class like Rune Factory Guardians of
Yeah,
Asthma, because like
yeah,
they actually do have a buffer one,
yeah,
where like the whole thing about it is they go and buff of or give as many other effects as possible
Yeah.
to like just like anybody that you're using. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah.
So that's also a very important like mercenary because they're not they're the basically people you hire to make sure you can fight better.
Yeah.
And then the last one I would say would be a tool user mercenary. This would be typical more in armies such as siege crafters and stuff like that. But in a magical setting, you could also get somebody who spends money to get like rods of destruction and stuff like that, pretty expensive tools. But on the case of, because they could have connections with artificers and stuff that you don't have. So, grenades, that sort of stuff. So they're basically willing to be hired to use tools that you might not have access to.
Fair enough. Yeah. I do like that
They're
as
also
well.
yeah, and because there's many tools in D&D that are like reusable.
Yeah, such as
They
like
just need to
the
be
healing kit, right?
recharged or yeah. And those can be quite hard for the party to get. So maybe you guys hire somebody who already has these tools, and he offers a mercenary contract to use these tools for you for a price.
Yeah.
Armies could also use them in wars for siege engines and all that. Why make a siege engine train your people to do it when there's a mercenary who already has all that stuff?
Understandable. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really good. It for like contracts.
Yeah. So then let's move over to the curses because they will be some funny ones. So
Oh yeah.
I have the for the list of the funny ones. You might like this one first. So like it's a butler slash maid curse, where like these are things that might be like attached to like cursed magic items, basically. And so
Mm-hmm.
like you have to whoever has this curse has to do whatever is ordered, if not illegal or destructive. If and they instantly gain a butler slash maid outfit and never want to take it off after that point.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I figured you would have a funny one of that. Uh oh wait, why do I have the um I think I messed up where things were because I see the Emperor curse and I see the Kronk curse as the same thing. I am pretty sure that like the
Yeah.
Emperor curse is supposed to be like the Emperor has no clothes thing basically,
Mm-hmm.
or at least like they go and perceive themselves like that. So it's like kind of the opposite where like they actually have on like all the clothes and equipment. They just
But they
assume
think
that
they're naked.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Uh, Another one that you might love as well. This one is the one that I fear you might go and try to just like a bunch of random things to try to get this one, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like if you get the Kronk curse, whenever the character opens, presses a button, or pulls a lever, they have a 75% chance for anything random to go and hit either them or an ally. So it's literally just like person opens the chest. It's like it's fine, closes the chest. Person with the Kronk curse just like opens his eyes like wait, what's this? Like it normally doesn't do that. It closes the chest. It's like normally, and then they open the chest again, and then like a rubber snake flies off and hits the person that opened the chest first. It's like do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
uh, I figured that would be like a funnier one to do.
I love the Emperor's New Groove comments. Yes.
Yes. The another one is like the sense leakage, where it's like the character just goes kind of insane and hears like random things and thinks that thoughts are related to the person they're looking at, such as like if they go and like so like you might hear in the negotiation like the person across from them and perceive them as like I wonder when I should murder these people. It's like you want to murder us. And so like they're just like absolutely schizophrenic.
Yeah. It's like, congratulations, you gained schizophrenia.
Yeah. Another one that I figured would also be funny is a big curse, where it's like they will always use speak. They have no idea why they always want to ask speak, or why they even say they will use as the Bing search. Well, why they say they will, if the Bing search engine does not exist. Is only this character sings big, and they get to choose how big looks. So like, there's this big imaginary creature that's just like right in front of them, named Big, and they will always ask them to search about random things. And nobody else sees it.
Congratulations. Congratulations, you have your own search engine. It's entirely in your head and you might be insane.
Yeah, exactly. So, any other funny random curses that you can think of?
Um, Funny ones?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just gave me something that just right off my head. One thing I love is called the clown curse, which is if you wear this object, it turns you into either a happy clown or a sad clown. And every step you have has to have squeaks to it.
Yeah.
Just because, being turned randomly into a clown, I just find hilarious.
Yeah, your feet squeak. Oh wait, your nose squeaks too. How about that too?
Yeah. It also completely ruins stealth for you, which I find hilarious. Give it to a rogue, bam! Suddenly that rogue's not going to be roguing anymore for a while.
Yeah, you automatically fail stealth checks. Ugh. Actually, to be fair, with Ambi, with the level 11, technically it might be to the point where like he actually passes his stealth checks despite the fact that he's squeaky. So it's like, where the frick is he squeaky coming from?
Just they can hear you, they just can't see you. That you become a horror movie clown.
Yeah, so I prefer the disadvantage thing just simply because it's funnier to go and hear the horror movie clown type thing.
You become Pennywise from It. Squeak, squeak. Where is it coming from?
Yeah. To be fair. Oh, I also have a different clown curse where it's like I guess I changed this to like the Joker curse because it's like a character transforms into a clown, laughing maniacally while perceiving others as funny as possible, either because of just this random outfit, or because of just like a funny illusionary action being taken by them, such as like them just like tripping or something into like pies and stuff. And so like it's entirely in their head, and it's just that they see it.
They have the slapstick curse.
I actually like that better, basically, because we also do have somebody that like is named Joker. So some neutral / weird curses, which they can kind of be like disruptive, but not too disruptive, and being like, I've actually used this first one against you guys, being the reverse curse, where like hits turn into misses, crit hits turn into crit fails, and the reverse also happens. And it's another kind of funny one, but I placed this into the neutral / weird one because of just how it is the flightless curse, where it's like, they believe they can fly and try everything they can to get more height so they can prove that they can fly, unlike those penguins.
Yep.
And I also thought of a Claire curse, where like the character randomly sees places or events and thinks that those are clairvoyant images as where events will unfold, or that something will happen to it soon, such as like some disaster or something, and so like they might go over and warn them. Um, there's also a masochist curse where the character will enjoy the pain and always receive max damage that they can. And
Oh,
then
I love that
there's
one.
what?
I love that one. That one sounds hilarious.
Yeah, I also have two other similar curses where it's like a truth and a lie curse. Where like the truth one obviously is they can never tell a lie, but they always assume that others are telling the truth unless they are fully proven otherwise. Such as like, I, hi, the sky is blue. It was like if somebody says the sky is green, it's like looks up at the sky. It's like the sky is not green, it's blue. Oh, oh. So like yeah, that's obviously gonna like fail. But if it's like I totally have not thrown somebody off of a cliff, even if like there's like fingerprints on it. It's like I believe that this person and is totally did not throw that person off the cliff. I should go by that cliff just to be thrown off the cliff again.
Yeah.
The lie curse is that they can never tell the truth, but they also always think that others are lying. So like the thing that makes it funny to me is the fact that like they could be the only person where somebody could be lying. Everybody else fails to check, and then it's like, I think you're lying because they're cursed to think that, and they just saw happened to be right that one time, even when everybody else is like, nah, they're totally telling the truth.
Yeah.
Uh, I also like the mimic curse, where it's like they will want to mimic a specific person to the point of recreating their outfit, attempting to constrict/pad their body to look closer if needed, and will go to the lengths of a wig to mimic said specific person. um, so yeah.
Oh, I like that one.
Some other ones that are also interesting is the cat tongue curse, where like the character cannot speak in any language, or at least any spoken language. They can actually speak if they're doing like the hand symbols, such as like what we've done with like Thieves Camp, for example, is one that you could do it with. And common sign language is another one that you can do it with.
Yeah.
And then Druid is another one that you can talk with. Maybe also like whatever it is, a skin language, basically. I think like skin can or something like that. Like
Yeah.
all of those, since they are non-verbal ones, you can actually speak in them through the cat tongue curse, but you cannot speak common, basically. uh, which I find kind of funny. There's the indifferent curse where like it's basically just like Justin. Basically, he does not care about anything, and they don't really want to voice their opinion. It's just that then he has an actual reason for doing it.
Yes.
And then there's a undead curse, which you might like this one as well. That the character is undead in service of an unknown lich or other undead commander. Any creature brought to zero by this creature will rise again in service of the same commander if the creature dies.
Oh, that's a dangerous curse right there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's an army raising curse right there.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
you
one
might
of
like
those.
it, at least for like your own games.
Yeah, no. I like that one.
Any
That's
other
definitely
like
a.
weird curses you can think of?
That's a good question. Why is everything dying? Curse of bad internet. You always get 10 ping.
No, that's actually good internet. It's like 999 ping.
Yeah. You're actually turning that into a curse. That was actually me just complaining about my internet service. Because everything went pixelated.
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of funny. Like even with like medieval times, it's like, what is ping? I don't know, but like I have 999 of it. Actually, to be fair,
no.
yeah, let's go and make it even funnier. You see,
Everything you see is pixelated. Yeah.
yeah, you see your ping in the upper left of your vision, and everything is pixelated as well. Oh, I love that one.
Yeah. I forgot the one I was going to talk about originally because that one. The universe wanted to provide for this.
100%, yeah. I mean, that's why I love doing these with like other people because they just come up with some random things or just some random
Yeah.
thing pops up into where like, oh yeah, let's go and add that to the list because it will be funny. uh, so already, can you like would you actually just like try to tune to random items simply to try to get some of these curses to apply? Like even if you don't think that these are magical.
A good item that with some of these curses could be handed to you would. Well, for the lit undead curse one, I'd 100% put it on a ring. Lord of the Rings, right there, 100% a ring.
Yeah.
Like cat tongue and all that. Maybe I'd put it on like. I'd find it funny to put it on a mask. Like 100%, I'd have my people go, oh, it's a holiday. People are selling masks and all that, and the players go and buy a mask from some random person for real cheap. Boom, cat tongue curse. Because I'm evil.
And you guys call me an evil sadistic DM.
There's a reason why in my friend group I was called the hardcore DM.
Fair enough, yeah.
When I was in high school.
I mean, I think that I've basically gone to like that same thing with you all.
Yeah.
Because here
we also have a lot of fun.
What?
Then we have the disruptive curses.
Yeah, we also have like disruptive ones. So like these are the ones that can like quite easily like break the game from sort of things. Justin actually mentioned one of these curses being like the magical absorption one, where like it absorbs all damage from magical attacks. However, it will explode with all those if it gets hit by like an arrow or a sword or taken off. Basically.
Yeah, you could also do an opposite of physical absorption, where it's the exact opposite.
Oh, interesting.
You're like, oh, I didn't think of that one.
Yeah, I didn't. Funny enough, I did. I thought of the reverse with like the truth curse. I didn't think about the physical absorption one.
No. So you're basically you're physically immune to everything, but if you're hit by magic, you're going down.
Yeah. So another one as well. That would be like somewhat destructive is a nightmare curse. So like this person is like constantly moving and screaming in horror. And it's like everybody else is just like, "You good?" As they're just like, "There's Jason after me!" Because like there's just like these somewhat harmless like imaginary creatures after them.
Yeah.
And they're not like harmless. The cursed person takes like 1d for psychic damage every 10 minutes, and they always must use at least like one action for movement. Basically, like at least with our games, like they have to take one action as a movement to kind of like use their speed. Otherwise, they'll take that damage, that same damage, basically. Then there's the substitute curse, like we've mentioned before. There's a berserker curse, where like the character must attack the closest enemy or prioritize doing as much damage as possible, even if they have to hit themselves with it. Then there's the invulnerable curse, which is also kind of funny. I just put these to here because like the character thinks that they have immunity to a certain amount of damage, such as like fire.
Yeah.
So like they will literally not care about a like fire dragon's breath. They think they are immune
The
to fire.
cartoon curse.
Yeah,
The
basically.
cartoon slapstick curse, yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's
think
like
you're a cartoon character.
yeah, that's like oh frick. I guess I'm not immune to fire. And then a few seconds later, I am totally immune to fire. uh, and so like another one that I felt was a interesting one that would be like also kind of disruptive is a narcissist curse, whereas like the character thinks they are the best at everything and always wants the biggest share of like loot and stuff.
Makes sense?
uh, any other curses that you can think of that might be a little bit more on the disruptive side?
I can't really think of disruptive ones, but I do want to talk about beneficial curses, because I don't see you have a section for that.
Fair enough. I mean, like, I kind of place the beneficial ones as like the Well, actually, yeah, I did. I more did this as like the Halloween one, right?
Yeah.
So like, I I didn't really plan for like beneficial curses. It was partially for the fact that like I with a Halloween thing, right? Like, in
Yeah.
what world would you want it to be like beneficial, right?
Oh,
Uh,
I can think of a curse. You want to hear one of my favorite curses I tend to use in my games?
sure.
Okay, so I usually have like a weapon or something like that, where it's for every 3 kills you get with it, you get a +1 ability to it, so it will act like a +1 weapon. But it takes away. It also gives you a -1 ability score to your intellect and wisdom. It resets every long rest. So as long as you wield this sword, you can get it to be very powerful. You could get it to be like a +5 weapon if you just keep killing with it. But the downside to that is you're tanking your wisdom and intelligence too. Make sense?
Yeah.
They're basically and how I usually play them is that they're basically like enchanted weapons and curses and all that, but they don't give you an attunement, but they have something wrong with them, you know? Like they're not all beneficial. There's something that's not going correctly.
Fair enough. Yeah, I do say that that's kind of like that's a little bit on like the
I
funny
usually
curses
cap it
as
at
well, right?
yeah. Yeah, I usually cap it at like +3 just to be safe, you know.
I
Um
mean, to be fair as well, like I don't really see that that's going to be getting up to much more than a +3 in my games anyway, because
yeah.
like usually I would go for like a harder
Yeah.
enemy rather than like a actual
Yeah.
like murder one, right?
See,
Uh,
I like using minions in my game, the minion rule set.
yeah. Uh, like
You know you know
uh,
what the minion rule set is, right?
yeah, for the most part. Like
Okay.
I do use minions as well with
Yeah.
bigger bosses, but like typically like a dungeon, right? Like the
Yeah.
minions are effectively like the things that you're fighting, and so
Oh,
like
then
yeah,
can I explain what a minion is? Because this
what?
comes from fourth edition. A minion in D&D is basically a normal mob, but they have the nimbleness trait, which means that instead of taking half damage when you would roll for something for half damage, they don't take any damage. But the difference in a minion is that they only have 1 health. So anything that damages them will kill them right away. But they only give like a third to a fourth of the experience they're supposed to.
Ah, fair enough, fair enough.
It
Yeah.
it basically allows you to have large amounts of soldiers the players can kill. So you can make a goblin horde and 70% of them are minions mixed in with regular goblins. So you can mess around with your players thinking, they can it basically allows you to be like an action hero, have large amounts of units on the battlefield. It's how I like to play it,
Yeah, it's
basically.
basically just like a hack and slash style game at that point.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Uh, uh. So, anything else with the curses for right now?
Not that I can think of.
All right.
Yeah,
Uh,
I like beneficial curses.
yeah,
That's usually one of my
I
things.
might go and revisit that at a later date. I'm gonna
Yeah,
talk about the living dungeons next, if that's fine. Um,
that's fine.
so like, you guys are currently dealing with one,
Yeah,
and so like, for reference, I also added back some of the HP because I realized I messed up on the fight previously.
oh wait,
Uh,
1 second.
okay. Okay, so yeah, basically with the dungeon rules that I usually have, because you know how all
Yeah,
my dungeons are usually living, right?
yeah.
So
Oh wait,
rules are
one.
often female, and they are usually humanoid, but they can be male and of any race. Uh, if the dungeon has yeah, if there's a dungeon, it has a core. Or if the core is destroyed, the dungeon dies. If there's a master, or the master will die with the dungeon. Uh, the dungeon can replace as enemies as anywhere.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I thought
I
you heard me when I said that I needed to go emergency run real quick.
Oh no, I did not actually.
Family members are leaving right now, so they're asking me to do a bunch of stuff. That's always where I see them used a lot.
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, this is also like I can like set this up off of like originally Lazy Dungeon Master. For those that have not read it,
Yeah,
I do recommend that as well. Uh, and
it's
so
good.
like a couple things that I thought of with this is like having various goals of these dungeons to kind of make them a little bit more humane, I guess, basically. To where like yeah, sure, like they might actually just care about survival, that's it. Like they don't care about like anything else. Maybe they actually care about world domination, so they want to like conquer anything and everything. Maybe they want to just conquer the local area, or actually on the opposite side, benefit the local town as a local benefactor. Maybe they just care about a artistic thing, such as caring and about a beautiful world, or making like an art gallery such zoo. Maybe they
Yeah,
care about growing power or becoming unstoppable, or maybe they just care about being the best rest stop or the best business. Any other reasons you think of that a dungeon might exist for?
local benefactor creating. Ooh.
Yeah, I was gonna get to where I
Yeah.
can edit.
I'd say creation.
Uh,
You know,
like
help.
define it.
A person. I think this would more fall under survival, maybe, but I would think more of a preservation of species that are gone. Like, have a dungeon that specializes in dinosaurs and bringing them back to the world, kind of thing. You
I
know,
actually would say that
species
would
that
be
are low.
more like the zoo actually.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but basically a dungeon that specializes in endangered animals and reseeding them in the world.
Yeah. All right. So another one that I wanted to kind of talk about is like I basically like dealing with like dead things. So like I I looked at this and like I kind
Yeah,
of liked it and saw the need for it, but also at the same time I'm not too sure about whether there's a actual need for like a style about like how the dungeon is with the final living person and like a downed group basically.
yeah,
Because like it's kind of one of those things that it's like, oh, okay, like is it just like a solo thing or is it like just a general overarching like group thing? I kind of wanted your opinion on it as well. Well,
um, You could have like one where they just you have it stabilize and leave, so it just stabilizes them and kicks them out.
Yeah. Well, the stabilize and leave is kind of just like leave be for the most part.
Yeah. One thing that I could see is it basically enslaving them. It forces them to become part of the dungeon temporarily. You know, like if you get downed by the dungeon, you're part of the dungeon. You know.
I mean, like that's technically like a little bit on like the
Oh, let
middle
be
stuff where like
captured, yeah.
the let be and
Oh, I was
capture
looking at
and
the one.
stabilize and utilize.
Yeah. Okay, I was looking at the one below it.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, there's also this one in the
Yeah.
middle with the like utilizing everybody and capturing and pressing the rest.
Yeah.
Because like I didn't really note that it would be like really having a different thing to do with this. Like I figured
Yeah.
that these would be kind of like the main general things about like
I think you
okay,
cover most of it, yeah.
yeah. I just was like curious about like
Most
do you say like a down group is different enough from like the final living person being down?
Yeah, definitely. Because as long as there's still one person up, the group can recover as a whole, you know. You know, he
Fair.
could stabilize people, drag them back to the beginning. Boom, the good group's still good. But once that final member in a group goes down, then it's a party wipe. There's no hope of really getting them up.
Yeah.
Unless somebody rolls like a 20 to, you know, get themselves back up for something or has an ability, you know, that group's pretty much done for.
So basically, it's kind of like more of like a down single person or down group ones, kind of
Yeah.
bit different. Um,
Because if you're just down, you know, yeah, if you're down as a group, you still have people to like stabilize you, pick you up, you know, that sort of thing.
fair enough. Yeah.
The only thing I could think maybe is a person in black, like the dungeon sends a random person to help you, so that way you can continue going down the dungeon.
I mean, the major issue that I would say would be a question and an issue with it is the fact of like I if somebody does get to the end, like that means that they're probably going to get to the where the core is, to where
Yeah,
like they can then possibly destroy it, basically,
yeah.
which would kill the dungeon. And also the
Well,
master
you
of the one exists.
another thing you could do if you want dungeons to avoid that is like in have it so that way there's either a false core, so people think they destroy the dungeon, it goes into hibernation for a little while and then comes back. You know. Or you get to the end, you get to the core, and you have the choice of either destroying the dungeon or I believe that D&D calls them epic talents or something like that. Let me look it up real quick. D&D 5th edition epic talents.
Yeah, I believe it would be like the
Yeah, epic boons, that's what they're called.
yeah.
And the only way to obtain these is by the DM. So they're basically like boons, but you get them for story reasons. So let's say they get to the bottom of the dungeon, the dungeon offers them a choice. It can grant them this epic boon, you know, this source of power if they don't destroy it. If they destroy it, they lose the boon. It is powered completely by the dungeon. So they get a boon of fate if they complete the dungeon and don't destroy the core, where any creature that you can see within 60 feet of you makes an ability check, an attack roll, or saving throw. You can roll a d10 and apply the results of a bonus or penalty to the roll. Make sense?
Yeah.
So it basically awards them for completing dungeons but not destroying them.
Fair enough. Uh,
And that also can add to your world where people want to do dungeons, they want to keep them alive because you can get boons for completing them. And if somebody destroys this dungeon that gives boons, well, everybody loses the boon. So everybody has an incentive to make sure this dungeon isn't destroyed.
fair enough. Uh,
Nope.
I mean, for me, basically like the world is kind of like that as well, because
Yeah.
like the dungeons are kind of like boon type things. It's just that
Yeah.
the major thing that like anybody that says like go investigate this dungeon is looking for is whether
Yeah.
or not the dungeon's goal is specifically a like 2 or 3, so like a world domination or local domination one.
Yeah.
Because like if it's trying to do one of those two things,
You
and
need to prune it.
yeah, exactly, you need to destroy it. Because like if it's just looking to survive, well, that's just like a normal human creature thing. And
Yeah.
a local benefactor one obviously is like, oh, well, yeah, don't destroy that. Like obviously, because it's trying to benefit us. Like, why
Yeah.
would you do that? Uh, doing the world or the zoo. Like again, same thing with the benefactor. The growing power or slash influence and the unstoppable thing kind of go back to the world domination slash local domination thing. Like, is it kind of just like a little bit more trying to become unstoppable so it can go and dominate the world, such as the local area, or is it trying to be unstoppable so that like it literally just cannot be destroyed or taken down, like no matter what?
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
It's an interesting concept if you play with rules like that, though.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, that's kind of a thing that I wanted to do about with like you, because like the major thing that I wanted to like establish with this was like these two because like I didn't I didn't necessarily want to be like downed like final person because like
Yeah.
that kind of would go a little bit more into like the downed group, but like a single person down as like the group just leaves that one person down, like
Oh,
that
then
makes
yeah.
sense. And
Yeah.
like it makes sense also for like a TPK type situation, which is actually why I expanded this. Because like the fun fact about this is like I originally had it to where like it was just the goal, and then the attitude. If you want to like go through those, uh, uh, I don't know about whether or not you wanted to go through all of them as we're like over the hour mark.
Yeah.
uh, and then like some of the other things that I went and added due to that was like, well, as I added for the TPK that you guys are now like trying to, like actually rescue at least one person from. I actually
Yeah.
added in the plotting style because not every dungeon is gonna plot the same way, right?
No.
uh, and then just like with like
I,
deals certain dungeons might more go on like I view deals differently and care or more about a different thing with the deal. Much like they might have different priorities, is
I,
and also different ways of dealing with like the people they capture.
I 100% want inner dungeon inner dungeon politics. Like you have somebody who's defeated by one dungeon and sent to go fight another dungeon because they lost and died in this dungeon. So the dungeon's basically saying, "Hey, I'm placing a curse on you. If you don't go beat this dungeon, you'll die again."
I mean, yeah, that is also something that is definitely like possible, basically.
Yeah.
Because like one of the prisoner of war things, right? Is literally like servitude until useful, or like goal tasks are completed, such as like oh hey, like this person or this thing over here is promising to do a trade if I go and like release this one prisoner I have. Okay, sure. I'll go and bite. Uh, and then like all that goes through. Or if they have a task and well, okay, I have no idea what else to go and do or what other type of task that I might want from like this person. Okay, let me just kind of release them because I don't know what else to do for them. Different than matters to just like recage them at that point, but like that would be more our like 5 where it's like servitude till death or till like there's a useful trade to like come off with them.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else with like the living dungeons that you want to talk about? Because like we can pass on the villain family or like do a different thing to talk about at a later date.
No, we can go on to the next subject if you want.
I mean, I usually go for like an hour, so like I don't mind like getting with you again, getting to like I talk about like the living dungeons if you want to like take more time on like the attitudes, the playing styles, the
Sure, you want to do that next time?
sure, yeah, I'm fine.
I'm willing to do a part 2.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for a part 2 because like I I then it makes it a little bit more like interesting and vibrant.
Yeah.
Plus, to be fair, like upon knowing like all of this, it does kind of like I make it a little bit more interesting for you because like
Yeah.
then you can go and be like okay, so how is this dungeon actually being? Like, is it one of those like opportunistic dungeons, a tactical dungeon? Um, is it like a
Just trying to survive? Is it?
yeah. Uh, because like to be fair, there's also like in the attitudes, there's also like a foodie one to where like maybe like bringing food into where it's like, hi dungeon, do you want some food? Maybe it procs out the core or to go and like talk and provide deals for you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, sounds. Next Sunday, good for you?
Yeah, that's fine. And to be
Cool,
fair,
same
we
time?
are like feel free to go and also send me like a little bit of a list of other things you might want to like talk about with like systems and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. Maybe I also add in like a couple more like beneficial curses basically, and we talk about those too.
Oh yeah. I love beneficial curses because there are basically like attunements with negatives to them, but without the attunement.
I mean, I still will probably have the attunement, but like, it's gonna be like a little bit more
Yeah.
interesting because it's like, hi, you do this certain thing, and then you get like this benefit, but this also
Yeah.
negative thing.
Yeah. You see. Yeah, you could play them both ways like that. Have it not be attuned, but it's weaker, but at the same time, or it has an attunement, but it's stronger.
Yeah,
Lots of different interesting things you can do with it.
yeah. I definitely do like this. I am definitely curious to see about how many times do you try to attune to a random item just to see if it is like one
Just to
thing
see what it does.
Yeah, just to see if it might go and be one of those ones that actually does have like the butler slash maid curse, maybe the croc curse, or like some other thing. Because keep in mind, the croc curse would also work for like the potions as well. So it's just like open up the bottle as you just like have it and smack the enemy with the like a rubber snake as everybody else is just like, how the frick did you do that? It's like, I'm cursed. Don't worry about it.
Well, see you, man.
See ya.
Have a good day.
You too. But yeah. So now I'm gonna do the little outro thing as I typically do. So yeah, obviously next week we'll probably be doing like more of this and going a little bit more into depth with like the living dungeons, villain family. Uh, Maybe we do the Uma Musume thing because like if I recall correctly, they do. Lucas does actually love My Little Pony. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. Basically, but like I know that in Gmod he has he has the purple horse. I don't know the purple one's name. I think it's like Rarity or something like that. Uh, but like, yeah, that's where I'm basing that off of. So like, I could be entirely wrong. I could be entirely right. Who knows? Basically, but yeah, definitely got tons of things. If you want to hear me yap, if you want to hear me yap about other things, I should be back on. Well, yeah, I'll normally be a good. Let me check the schedule. So yeah, typically what I do is I stream on Twitch at Gordon_fan42 on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I at 10 p.m. Eastern, and I don't do it on Friday because like I'm usually preparing for D&D at that point. I sometimes I'm doing this, sometimes I'm doing a different thing. I already have all the creatures such as like I this week they're probably going to be fighting a green hag. It is what it is. As I mentioned, I made a mistake last time, so I've corrected that basically. But yeah. On Sundays, as I will usually also stream at 9 a.m. Eastern. Probably not going to be doing that this week for like F1 purposes, but we'll probably be doing it like 10 p.m. Sorry, 10. We'll probably be doing this at the same time next week, basically. So hopefully you all enjoyed this. Uh, New episodes of this are uploaded on Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern and 8 a.m. Pacific. Definitely a lot of fun. And definitely, I can't wait for next week to go and do the Living Dungeons, the family, maybe more curses and Uma Musume. Definitely didn't think about doing the beneficial ones, so probably gonna have a little bit more on that, and maybe flesh them out a little bit more on the next week, but we'll see. However, I'll ultimately see everyone when I next see y'all. Hopefully you learned something, and happy game mastery.